That's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Catherine Drew. America's Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says the U.S. is not seeking regime change in North Korea. It comes as Pyongyang claims to have missiles that could hit the U.S. West Coast. The U.S. has warned Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro he will be held personally responsible for the welfare of two opposition leaders seized amid unrest. And Britain's Prince Philip is retiring from royal duties today at the age of 96, having made over 22,000 solo appearances.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, good morning to you on your Wednesday. It's August 2nd, 2017. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is in the studio with you. I'm joined by my co-host, Mrs. Quabila Harden. Also am joined by Mrs. Amanda Donovan, who is helping me on the boards today, along with my other intern, Miss Micah Rolay. And this is being the first Wednesday of the month. We have Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliot in the studio with us today. He is joined by Officer Shay Racy of the DARE program, and we also have Victor Cobbs, who is a local DJ, who is also joining us as well. They're going to be talking about some of the things that are going on with the DARE program. But before we start off, I do have to ask Chief this question, because this is something that has brought some concern in the community, and I wanted to get Chief's response on the record about his stance, as well as the Jonesboro Police Department stance on this. Recently, President Donald Trump gave a speech in front of a group of police officers, and in the speech, President Trump stated that it was okay for officers to get rough with suspects, to push their heads against the wall and do some other things. Right after President Trump made these statements, several police departments, sheriff departments, and I believe even one of the federal law enforcement agencies turned out and said, no, we're not going to do this. And so I just wanted to get Chief's statements on the record for the listeners on what his stance is, as well as the policy of the Jonesboro Police Department and his response to President Trump's statements.
Well, first I say good morning, and the second thing I want to say is no way that kind of conduct is going to be tolerated. Bear in mind that when we go to effect an arrest, we can use as much force necessary to effect that arrest. But after the person is subdued and handcuffed, then the force must cease. So any extra banging around or whatever, it's unnecessary and won't be tolerated. So President Trump's comments kind of set law enforcement back many years, things that we tried to overcome and train and have our people to act more professional and do things like they're supposed to do. And I think he just kind of pushed things back, and as you can see, the chiefs and sheriffs across the country are now having to go back and do damage control on a statement like this, as we're doing right here. But I assure you and the citizens of Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas that no, that's not our policy. So, no, that's not going to happen and should not happen. And if anybody thinks that their arrest has gone excessive, then we will certainly look at it and file a complaint, and we'll certainly investigate it.
All right, Chief, we want to definitely thank you for going on the record and making that clear and to reassure the citizens of Jonesboro that the Jonesboro Police Department will not just rough up people just because they can, because there definitely was some concern about that. So we're going to move on to more positive things. We're going to talk about some of the many programs that the DARE program is doing. So, Quabila, I'll let you kind of take it from here, and we'll bring in Officer Racy and Mr. Cobbs, and they kind of talk about some of the exciting events that DARE has coming up.
All right. So the first event, well, I'll say the first that I know of, is the Back to School Bash at the Rink.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, so this is going down August 11th. So tell us a little more about this event, how it came to be, and what people can expect once they get there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Like you said, Vic and I met each other, Vic, a couple months ago, maybe? Officially. And we were both doing an event down at the skate rink, and I'm friends with the family down there, the Woods and the Rouses, that own Family Fun Central. Okay. And we all kind of collectively come up with an idea to do a back-to-school deal there where it'd be free for the kids and the families to come out and just be a good event for the community to help bridge the gap between police and the community.
Okay.
And you know, just be able to have some kids that normally wouldn't have an opportunity to come out and spend a lot of time at the skate rink or do inflatables or, you know, just have a good time. Kids that wouldn't be able to do that can now come out and not have to worry. Parents don't have to worry about paying for it.
Okay.
And so all of that will be sponsored by us and our partners.
All right, so will we see any officers on the skates?
I want to know if we'll see Chief on the skates.
There you go. Put the pressure on Chief. Make him come out and do that. There also may be an appearance by Darren the Lion. We may be able to get him on the skates.
That is wonderful. And so, Mr. Vic, what role will we know you'll be the DJ spinning the tune?
Yeah, I'll be playing the music. That's pretty much it for this event right here.
So will you have some lights? I know I've seen some of your videos and different posts on Facebook and Instagram. Will you have some fun lights going on as well?
See, I haven't thought about that, but I have a set of lights that I'm going to have at the skate rink. Just going to be there weekly because I will be doing an event there weekly now. So I'm just going to set up some lights that'll just be there 24/7. So.
That's wonderful. So what makes you decide to want to get involved with this particular event?
Let me see. I like giving back for the kids.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. There's a lot of events that I do for free where it's a community event that's pertain to like giving back for the kids.
Okay.
And Officer Racy had told me about this one day that I was there. I was just there planning something, and I saw him. He told me about what he was doing, and I was like, I'd like to join in on it.
Alrighty, that's wonderful. So please let us know anytime you're doing something else that's a community-based program. We'll be happy to make the announcement on our social media sites.
Once again, we are speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott, along with Officer Shay Racy of the Jonesboro DARE program, and Victor Cobbs, a local DJ. If you have any questions for any one of these gentlemen, you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. You can also leave your questions and comments on our Facebook Live feed. We have a shout-out already. Shout-out to Shadrick Turner.
Okay. And so, Officer Racy, you mentioned off air another event you are hosting. Did you want to talk about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's another event that we're collaborating on with Vic. I'm gonna defer to him. I'll give you the title of the event, and then I'll kind of let him explain it. The title of the event is "Stop the Violence, Give Up the Guns," and this is kind of an event that's going to be kind of close to our hearts because of some events that have been happening around town, and we're just trying to proactively think of ways that we can positively affect the community. Okay. And so a gun buyback or give back is going to be one of those things that we can do as a community that'll help save a life one of these days.
So will the guns be bought back, or will they be given something in return for that gun?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Vic.
So the guns, pretty much is going to be, you can bring in however many guns you want to, and we would trade it for a $50 gift card. And these gift cards would be sponsored by various stores and organizations throughout the city. It can be just local individuals that just want to help. And if you guys want to donate a card, just go get a $50 card. Turn it into Jonesboro Police Department. Ask for Officer Racy. And it'll get in the right hands. But a little bit about this event. So me being a DJ, I listen to the radio a lot, and the Memphis radio stations are like one of my top stations that I listen to, K97, and I heard this idea that they have been doing for maybe about 3 or 4 years now. Okay. And So yeah, I got it from a broadcast that was made over K97, and what they do, they team up with a couple of churches and the police department and different organizations, and all they do is they trade, like in Memphis, they trade gas cards and food cards for a gun, pretty much.
Okay.
And so I brought the idea to Officer Racy, said, hey, I heard this over the radio stations. They've been doing this for a while. What do you think about Jonesboro Police Department doing it? Because I brought this because of my line of profession. I'm a DJ.
Okay.
Sometimes I would do clubs and parties, and in order to make myself feel safer and the individuals that come to the different events that I do, I thought that it would be a good idea, you know, to take on this event. And so especially after like the shootings that happened in the parties and everything, that's exactly when it actually just popped up in my mind. Said we need to do something about it because you know, we don't want to lose people to guns, pretty much.
Exactly.
And one gun off the street can save a life. And so yeah, I just brought it to Officer Racy, and then Officer Racy connected it to the correct people at the Jonesboro Police Department, and they approved it, and they wanted to jump on and get it up and running.
All right, so where would this be going down?
September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. That is a Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday.
So 21 through 23.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The 21st would be at Allen.
It'll be either Allen or Parker. Allen or Parker Park. Okay. And then the next one will be at either Allen or Parker Park.
Okay.
And then the last one will be at
Jonesboro Pool Center.
At the Jonesboro Pool.
And so the time for the Thursday, the 21st, would be 11 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the time for that Friday is 11 to... It's 9 to
5.
9 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
that Saturday at Jonesboro Pool Center for sure would be 9 to 1, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And you said the pool, where's the pool center?
The old YMCA.
Okay.
It's on West
they
Nelson.
The name. Okay.
All right, we want to got another Facebook shout out. Shout out to Cornelius Seymour Jr. Appreciate you for checking in on our Facebook live stream. We want to bring the Chief back. Kind of want to get Chief's comments on these events and anything else you'd like to add to what Officer Racy and Mr. Cobbs has said so far.
Well, first I'd like to say this is a great idea that Mr. Cobbs and Shay come up with on this. Like I said, any chance we get to get a gun off the street that may potentially harm somebody, hurt somebody, or kill somebody is always a good thing. And I'm 100% behind this kind of program. These two have taken this and running hard with it, and hopefully we'll have some positive results. And I hope it carries on to other communities. There's a lot of guns on the streets. We cover a lot of guns every year off the streets of Jonesboro, and we see what the impact that they could have on our community. And if it's in the wrong hands, a lot of times it's a negative impact, and we just don't want that.
Can you reassure the people that when they come with their gun, they're not going to get arrested?
Yeah, it's one of these deals. You show up and you turn your gun in, you get your the gift card that they're offering, and go on about your way. So
it's a no questions asked kind of deal. We won't be checking IDs or anything like that.
Right. I think having it off-site, off of.
Yeah, away from the police department.
Away from the police department.
Yeah, because I can see a potential concern to
sure.
Let's say that somebody brings a gun that's an older gun, may have belonged to a parent or someone that just passed away, and the gun turned out may have been acquired through nefarious means that the kid didn't know about. You know, they may be concerned, they may run the serial number and come back and say, hey, this gun you brought, it was stolen. I'm like, well, I didn't know this was my daddy's old gun that just been sitting here for years. I wasn't doing anything with it.
Exactly. Right. No, this is a no questions asked event. Again, it's going to run 3 days to 3 different locations, and again, it's away from the police department. And, just a great way to start making a little bit of impact on the community.
So will you destroy the guns after?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So please, everyone, if you have an old gun, you want to get rid of it, no questions asked. Go to one of these locations. And when will we find out where on the 21st and 22nd of September where you're going to be?
Well, what we'll do is we'll push that on our Facebook page, our Jonesboro Police Dare Facebook page, the City of Jonesboro and the Jonesboro Police Department page, and we'll tag or however we get that over to KLEK.
So based on the statistics of the guns that you know that are already on the streets, is there a set number of guns for your goal?
You know, we hadn't actually sat down and talked about that. Now, what I will say is that I've read some of the statistics that were posted on the Memphis take back, and they've taken back anywhere from 100 to 400 guns, but we're talking Memphis though, you know. Right. So I think probably realistically 10 guns would be great, but 100 guns would be better. You know, so we have not officially set a goal, but you know, we are optimistic that we'll have some positive feedback from this.
Okay.
I think this is one of these events that, like Shay said, you know, Memphis does it quite often. I think we'll start it out and maybe run this at least once a year, if not twice a year, and just kind of get people used to the idea that, you know, every so often we're going to be running gun take-backs, and be a way to dispose of guns that no longer needed or wanted around the house.
And we are actively seeking sponsors for this event. So we're still needing $50 gift cards. So if you guys know anyone, or if anyone's listening that would love to partner with us with this event, we'll be more than happy to take your money.
Should those organizations treat this somewhat as a fundraiser?
Yes, yes. Well, I guess it'll be a write-off for them, but I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be a fundraiser for us. I mean, because the money would be going directly to the community. You know, whoever turned the guns in.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for that.
Once again, we are speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott. He is joined by Officer Shay Racy of the Jonesboro Police Department DARE program, and we also have Mr. Victor Cobbs, a local DJ, talking about some of the programs that the DARE is going to be doing for the upcoming school year going into it. So as we got about 4 minutes left in this segment, Officer Racy, just kind of for those listeners out there that may not even know what DARE is, just kind of let them know what DARE is and your involvement with it just throughout the school year.
Absolutely. DARE actually stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Myself and Officer Kevin Faust, we go to every school in Jonesboro and teach every fifth grader about a curriculum that is a decision-based curriculum. It's not necessarily about drugs, but it is about drugs. You know, it's about making good decisions in life, overcoming stress, being able to communicate while you're stressed. It's a multifaceted curriculum, and it's absolutely wonderful. I just started this in January. I came over from being a detective for the last 4 years. And I'll tell you, the time that I've spent in the classroom with these kids has been the most fun I've had being a police officer in 15 years. So I'm excited to continue doing this. We'll be in our Jonesboro schools this coming semester, all of the Jonesboro magnet schools, and Blessed Sacrament. And so I'm looking forward to doing that.
Now, if someone wants to book you for a special event, how would they go about reaching you?
They can contact us through our DARE page at Jonesboro Police DARE, or they can call up to the police department and ask for myself or Officer Faust, and they can get us in contact. We've actually got several events booked. I think this weekend we've got August 11th, our event, and then on the 12th, I think we've got an event. Is it Parker Park, Chief? Yes. That we're doing Parker Park, an event at Parker Park on the 12th. Okay. So we come out, and just kind of another thing that we do is we've been on the grill. So we do a little. Yeah,
off the air. We mentioned the Chief was on the grill last week for the cleanup, and on the other side of the break, we'll talk about how the cleanup went, as well as some of the other things going on with the Jonesboro Police Department. We do have a Facebook shout out. My phone keeps crashing. I apologize. We also have the JPD, the City of Jonesboro, and the DARE page tagged on the live feed video, so you can click on those to get more information. But Gail Raspberry asks, how do you reconcile gun take-back turn-in when police affiliates provide concealed carry class and gun promoting activities?
Is that for
I don't know, Chief, or you or Officer Racy want to tackle that one?
One more time, yes.
Okay, Gail Raspberry asks, how do you reconcile gun take-back / turn-in when police affiliates provide concealed carry class and gun promoting activities?
Well, gun ownership is all about responsibility. If you have people have a legal right, if you're not a convicted felon, to own and possess firearms. We have no problem with that. We do encourage proper training and education if you're going to own a firearm, if you're going to carry a firearm. There are people out there that seek not to have any education or any training carrying firearms, and they become a liability. So it's about doing the right thing. If you have guns laying around that you don't want your kids getting a hold of, or just don't need anymore, then this is an opportunity to turn these guns in. If you're a responsible gun owner, then be responsible for your guns. Make sure they're safe and secure in the home, away from the kids. And we don't want young adults getting a hold of the guns and getting out in the street and messing around with them because they become a liability to themselves and the community. So it's all about education, and again, just an opportunity to give back if people have something they need to get rid of.
Alrighty.
Way to properly dispose of.
Okay. All right, with that being said, we're going to get ready for a quick break, so stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We're speaking with Chief Rick Elliot, Corporal Shay Racy, and Mr. Victor Cobbs on Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Are your kids the center of your universe? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Once when my wife and I were about to go out, my daughter said, "But Mom, I want you to stay here." My wife replied, "No, honey, I'm going on a date with Daddy." Wow. I felt like $1 million. My wife was protecting her time with me and making us a priority. Our kids need to know how much we love them, that they are a priority to us as well, but that they are not the center of the universe. If they think they are, 3 things will happen. First, your marriage will suffer. Putting all your time and energy into your kids leaves only leftovers for your spouse. For more reasons not to let your kids think they are the center of the universe, visit my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Post Consumer Brands is seeking to hire 5 operators at their Jonesboro facility. Post offers good starting pay, 3 weeks of paid vacation, comprehensive benefits, 401k with employee match, and frontline incentives, while working 4 days on and 4 days off. More information is available at jobs.postconsumerbrands.com. Post Consumer Brands is an equal opportunity employer.
Starks Auto Plaza, your pre-owned superstore, is a longtime supporter of KLEK. 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard, Starks offers clean, reliable vehicles of all makes and models. Starks also offers no-hassle pricing, friendly service, financing options with approved credit. At Starks, you're always family, and our motto is, we never say no. 870-203-9980. StarksAutoPlaza.com.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, New St. John Missionary Baptist Church presents back to school bash, and diaper distribution. There will be school supplies given away as well as diapers. There will also be food, games, music, and door prizes. This event will take place August 12th, 2017 from 10 o'clock a.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. at New St. John Missionary Baptist Church, 310 North Main Street in Jonesboro.
Did you know KLEK has a brand new streaming app? That's right, you can listen to KLEK 102.5 FM anywhere in the world. The app is available for all Android phones and tablets, as well as iPhones and iPads. Just search your app store for KLEK and download the KLEK app for free today. And don't miss a beat of the education, entertainment, and empowerment on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We are speaking with Chief Rick Elliot, Corporal Shay Racy, Mr. Victor Cobbs, along with myself will be LaHarden, Mackenzie Kell, Amanda Donovan, and Mrs. Micah in his role. Not role. Micah Roll. All right, so we've been talking in the first half of the show about some things going on with the DARE program. They have an upcoming back-to-school bash at the rink, which is August 11th. And what is the time on that?
The time is from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Okay, from 3 to 7. Everything is free. There's going to be bouncy houses, food. Come get your skate on, have fun. It's for the whole family. You don't want to miss this. And this is going down at the Family Fun Central, which is on Phillips Drive. Okay, and also the DARE program, along with the police department and Mr. Victor, are hosting a Stop the Violence and Give Up the Guns, which will be September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And we will make sure to post those times for each of those days. This is a gun buyback program, and anyone who turns in a gun, there will be no questions asked. You will get a $50 gift card from somewhere in Jonesboro. All right, so Corporal Racy, go ahead.
Okay, just real quick to on the end of that one, that'll be for each gun as well.
Each gun?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh wow.
That'll be for each gun. So if you bring two, that's $100.
All right, so everybody started rounding up those guns. We need the whole purpose, as you said before, is to get them off the street.
Yes, ma'am.
And to hopefully create a safer community in which we live.
Yes, ma'am.
And off the air, Officer Racy, you mentioned that you've already got some sponsors lined up that have already contributed and that you want to take the opportunity to thank. So let the listener know who has already sponsored this event, helped you all with it. Okay.
With that particular event, Target has kicked in with actually $400. So we've got a good kickstart with Target, and we've got sponsors on our other events, on the back to school bash at the rink.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Tierra Hamilton with Spacewalk of Jonesboro, Kobe Golden with Grand Slam Entertainment, and then Jamar Andrews, who's a pastor up at Warrior Baptist Church. He's going to lend us the basketball goals.
Right.
And so we're going to have a good time, and we're going to cook and do all that good stuff. But Family Fun Central actually sent a message, and it's real quick. I like to read it. It says, "Thanks to the DARE program for including us in this event. Our business is a family-run business. The recreation is skating, but it's really about the kids. We provide the place and structure. They create the memories. So partnering with DARE is just a natural thing to do, since helping kids and families have fun, learn to make good choices, and create stable and meaningful lives is what they do also. Please join us to make this event a success." Really good people down there at Family Fun Central. They're great.
There's going to be things outside and inside, something for everybody to do.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So mark your calendars now, August 11th. All right, so Chief, we're going to move into talking about upcoming applications.
Okay.
I'm looking at a news story that says you're going online for new recruits.
We are. We've gone to a little bit different testing format than we have in the past, and from this point on, all applications will be submitted online. There's no paper applications.
Okay.
And the next test date will be the week of September 11th, and there'll be several days that will be set up that people can come in and take the written test. And we've gone to a new test. It consists of a written portion, and then there's a video portion that assesses the applicant's problem-solving skills.
Okay.
and then this information sent back to a company that evaluates and scores the written test and lets us know if this applicant is potentially a good candidate for the job. So it's one way of kind of weeding through several people to try to narrow it down to the best applicant possible. So that information is all online. The physical part of this test will be the week of September 23rd. So the physical requirements are posted on the website. So if anybody's interested in joining the Jonesboro Police Department, just encourage you to go on the Jonesboro Police Department website and look at the information and proceed accordingly. I will say that we are 100% staffed and have been for the past 30 days, which is a record and something we've not done in many, many years. So I'm very proud to say that I do not have any slots open at this time, but we do test twice a year to keep an eligibility list going. So if we do have vacancies, then we'll have applicants ready to plug in and fill the holes.
All right, so can I go through some of these physical assessments? I'm looking at the KIT post, and they list the physical fitness assessment, like sit-ups, push-ups, 300-meter runs, sit and reach, 1.5-mile run, and trigger pull.
Correct.
And all the physical testing will take place at Valley View High School on September 23rd. So what is the trigger pull?
Basically, we just require you to pull the trigger on a handgun 15 times with both hands.
Okay.
Obviously, part of the job is making a handgun function. And the unfortunate problem is we have lost applicants that cannot pull the trigger with their non-dominant hand 15 times. So hand strength is an important aspect of the job.
Okay.
So we've had people come in that do CrossFit and everything else and get to this portion of the trigger squeeze and they didn't have it in their non-dominant hand. So
that one thing took them out.
They did. It took them out. So people may be sitting going, well, why is that so important? But hey, you know what? It is important because when we train applicants and officers to shoot, we use both hands and then your strong hand and then your weak hand. So you have to be able to function, with
How
both
many
hands.
attempts do they get?
You get one.
But I mean, even if someone failed that portion of it, I mean, they could always probably do some exercises to strengthen their hands and come back on the next test.
Well, absolutely. We've had people come back and repeat tests, and they know what their weaknesses are. If it's in running or whatever, then they just, get out and start running. And I will say that don't start running a week prior to this test and think you're going to knock it out of the ballpark. You got a 1.5 mile run in 18 minutes, I believe, and don't start the week before and think you're going to knock it out of the ballpark. And some of the young people may, but
this is something you train for.
Typically, there are a few people that just can jump up and do this, but if this is something you really want to do, look at these requirements and you're going to start practicing now. So on the day of testing, you can get through the program. But we're always looking for the best applicant possible. So you're competing against how many show up, and usually on testing day we'll have 50 to 60 people. So, if you have a limited number of slots, then obviously it's to your advantage if you really want this job to start preparing yourself for the job.
Is there a limited number of slots for the eligibility list?
No. If you make it through the physical test, the written test, and the background investigation, and the oral interview, those applicants will be placed on the eligibility list. Now, we generally start out with 50 to 60 applicants on test day, and time we get down to how many is left to go on the eligibility list, it's usually around 15. So everybody else has been eliminated from the process.
And for those out there listening that may not know, once you're on the eligibility list, how do you pick from that list on who to hire?
Correct. The list is good for a year. I can choose from the top 5 of the list. And when it gets down to that point, I'll look at the applicants and choose and see what I think is the best fit for the department.
Okay. Just to double back a bit, We mentioned the written part of the test being online now. Is there a certain facility that they have the test?
No, they'll
at?
come to the police department. The application is online.
Okay.
They'll actually come to the police department, take the written test, and the video portion of the test.
Okay.
Sergeant Brandon will administer that test at the police department.
Okay. And I noticed also in the story it says, for those who do not have internet access, a kiosk is set up at the Human Resources Office at the Jonesboro Municipal Center on Church Street. So just to do the initial application, there's a kiosk there too.
There is. You can stop at HR at the municipal building down on Church Street, and they'll be glad to get you set up on the computer and to get the information going.
Alrighty then. And also on another note, Police Academy.
Citizens Police Academy.
Citizens Police Academy.
Session 6, I believe we're getting ready to start.
Absolutely. CPA class is slated to begin August 31st.
Okay.
So again, if any of the listeners are interested in participating in this program, we encourage them to go online and get your application filled out. It will be a first come, first served basis. We can hold around 31, 32 in class. So it will start to fill up pretty quick.
And as always, I highly recommend, because I am a graduate of Session 2 and have very fond memories of Citizens Police Academy, especially the ride-alongs. So definitely think you would encourage it. So I'm going to challenge Vic, Micah, and Amanda to get in on this.
What is the class like? How long does it run?
Yeah, the class, it will last, it's 4 hours a night for 12 weeks. And during the class, you'll start out the first night and just learn about the department overall. I have the first night, and we'll talk about the logistics of the department and what it takes to run a department, things like that. But every session, you'll have somebody from that division to talk a little bit about what they do and how that division works. So through this 12-week process, you're exposed to every aspect of the police department and what we do. Then there's a lot of hands-on training. We'll put you in traffic stop situations, and why we approach the cars, certain way we approach the cars, and why we do certain things people don't understand. So this is the education process to educate the community that this is the reason why we do this and stand this way and look this way or whatever. That you're exposed to all that. So you get a chance to see it, to have hands-on with it, and to experience it. And the goal is to educate the public about policing, hopefully change your mind. A lot of people come to class with negative ideas about policing. Mm-hmm. We've had people come to class that hated the police, and at the end of the program, they love the police. So, and that's fine. If you have problems and you have mistrust of the police, you don't like police in general, then come to the class. Because
in fact, I would say I think those probably the main ones that would be wanted for the program.
Absolutely, and as McGanzy will tell you, in each class we like discussion because we all learn from each other. Mm-hmm. The officers that are standing up in front of you are learning from the people in the class, just as much as the people in class are learning from the officers. Mm-hmm. Because I want to know how you feel, how you feel about policing, or how a police officer makes you feel. If you got stopped, what are you feeling? Mm-hmm. Then maybe together we can educate each other and make things a little bit better. So it tends to work out well, and so far, and it's all about communication. And once we begin communicating with each other in the community, then the community is a lot better place to live and work.
Definitely. Are those people ever coming back to become officers?
We have. Well, we've had a couple go through the class that have joined the police department. Cheyenne Jordan and Victoria Evans. They're now officers now. They went through the class and loved the class. This last class, Amelia Rainwater, she loved it so much she changed her profession and went to work in dispatch center.
Oh, wow.
It was also a good recruiting tool also for the police department. We have a Facebook shout out. Shout out to Amanda Miller McDaniel. Appreciate you for checking in on our live feed. And of course, you can also leave your questions and comments on our Facebook live feed, or you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. We're talking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliot, Officer Shay Racy of the Jonesboro Police Department DARE program, and local DJ Mr. Victor Cobbs. Chief, we're going to switch gears, unfortunately, to a sadder topic. You actually lost one of your K9 officers. I saw the post about it, and I just want to kind of get your thoughts on that. I mean, that there may be some people out there thinking, oh, that's just a dog, but it's more than that. I mean, it's an actual member of the department, and that officer, and along with that K9, shared a special bond. And I believe Flack was actually the K9 that I handled doing CPA. So, it kind of hit me a little as well when I found out he passed away.
It did. You're right. These dogs are a part of the police department. They're part of the officer's family. And it's that officer's partner day in and day out. That officer's trusting his life with that dog often. And when the officer's off duty, the dog goes home and becomes part of the family. But the K9 unit in the police department is a huge asset to the police department for what they do day in and day out. And it was unfortunate that Flack came down with bone cancer. That was an aggressive form and started to spread. And he starting to have some pain issues and had to live on pain meds. So the humane way to deal with this is just we had to put him down. So we hated that. It's a sad day for the police department, and obviously a loss for the police department. But this is a $9,000 investment. So kind of an economic impact. But what Flack has brought in over $200,000 in seized drug money, and the amount of drugs that he has taken off of the street is unbelievable. So the dogs are well worth the investment that we put into them. And the good thing is most of our dogs have been purchased by private businesses throughout the community and through donations. And when this story ran on the news about him being taken out of service, the next day I had $2,000 in donations to come into the police department.
So the next K9 you get, will it be a puppy that you have to train?
No, the dogs that we get, we buy from a local vendor, Blue Street K9, and they come they're imported from other countries, and we look for the top of the line breeding in these dogs. Again, these are working dogs, and when we get them, or when the vendor gets them in, the dogs already have obedience training on them. They're going to be anywhere from 18 months old, a little bit older, and then the vendor here will take them and imprint them with the odor, how to detect what odors we're looking for, whether it's narcotics or explosives. Then once the dog is imprinted, then the dog and the handler will spend time together, and then the team will be certified through national certifications as a team. Then they'll go back on the street. So right now the vendor has a couple dogs that Officer Sanderlin is looking at and testing and evaluation period. And once we make a selection, then we'll go ahead with another dog. On the positive note, again, like I said, we did have some donations come in, and one of the local banks, First National Bank here in Jonesboro, stepped up and is going to offset the rest of the cost for the purchase of the dog. So just within a few days of this, the community reached out. We had a lot of comments and sympathy about the dog, because there's a lot of animal lovers in the community, myself included. And so just to let the community know that, yes, we do have a replacement coming, and we will welcome that dog in as part of our family, and hopefully that dog will be doing good things for the community here within a month.
We have some more Facebook shout out. Shout out to the City of Jonesboro, Arkansas official page, and Victoria Evans. Victoria says, my favorite people. Kind of wrapping up our discussion about Flack, is Flack's owner holding up pretty well? Is he taking it well? And also, when things like this happen, when an officer experiences a loss, a tragedy, what resources do officers have to help cope with grief for a loss or something like that?
Well, sure. Yes, first answer to your first question, yes, officers handling is holding up well, I think, based on what's going on. And again, he's already in the phase of testing and evaluating another partner. Anytime an officer is faced with any kind of tragedy or has any kind of stressful event, then we have counseling services that are available. You know, day in and day out, what the men and women of the police department see, often it's not pleasant. You know, you have some bad accident scenes, and you have some different scenes of dead bodies and things like that these men and women have to go in and deal with. And sometimes it's, you know, it's shocking, and sometimes they can deal with it, and sometimes they get out of the profession because they don't want to deal with it and can't deal with it.
We talked about that a little bit before. Some officers, maybe day 1, day 2.
Yeah, it's
not even week 1, and they're just like.
We've had them roll up on a bad accident scene, and you know, just realize that, you know what, this isn't for me. I can't deal with this day in and day out, and go do something else. And we understand that and respect that.
All right, so we're going to get ready for another break. If you have any questions or comments, please give us a call at 870-277-1080 or drop us a message on our Facebook live stream. We're speaking with Jonesboro Police Department Chief Elliot, Corporal Shay Racy, Mr. Victor Cobbs, Ms. Michael, Quavila, Leganzi, and Amanda. Please stay tuned.
Got a full house today.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. One of the most valuable resources you can tap for help with improving your finances is professional credit counseling. Here are tips to choosing a credit counseling agency. Do your research. Check the registries of the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, as well as the Association of Independent Consumer Credit Counseling Agencies. Make sure you choose an agency that uses certified counselors. It is mandatory for credit counselors to pass a certification exam that tests their understanding in areas such as budgeting, credit and consumer law, counseling, and debt management. The agency you choose should provide more than one debt management option. Steer clear of any counselor who recommends the DMP before completing a thorough counseling session or says he or she gets paid if you sign up for the DMP. Check and be sure that the agency has a good record. Also, check with your state attorney general for complaints or legal actions brought against the organization. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Blues Live for 5, Part 2 at Fletcher's Barbecue Smokehouse. Only $5 admission. Saturday, August 19th, 7 o'clock p.m. Featuring from Dallas, Texas, Lerone Powers.
What's the name of that thing? Only last night.
Lerone Powers.
And is a mother, but don't you get caught. You're gonna have to pay the cost.
Performing all of his hits.
Ain't nothing but a party. Jumping like a pole in the wall.
Lerone Powers. Don't miss it. Blues Live for 5 at Fletcher's Barbecue Smokehouse. Saturday, August 19th, 7 o'clock p.m. Only $5 admission. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
Danny Ford, owner of Glen Sane Motors in Paragould, strongly believes in the values of family and hard work with a commitment to the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces who keep America free, providing sales and servicing of Chevys, GMCs, Buicks, and Cadillacs, located at 6345 Highway 49 in Paragould. 870-565-4358. Details at glensaneparagould.com and at klekfm.org. God bless our troops.
KLEK wishes to thank Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping our community through difficult times in life, such as depression, family issues, stress, and more. They are located at 1217 Stone Street, 1-866-972-1268. Details at lscihelp.com and at klekfm.org.
Arkansas Early Learning offers child care activities and educational programs to children ages 0 to 5. That gives them a head start in life. Arkansas Early Learning is in the community at no cost. Applications at arearlylearning.org. That's arearlylearning.org or on Facebook at Arkansas Early Learning.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, under the direction of Bishop Adrian Rogers and co-pastor Susan Rogers. www.fjministries.org.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with our guest, Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott, along with Officer Shay Racy of the Jonesboro Police Department DARE program, and Mr. Victor Cobbs, a local DJ. We're talking about the events that the DARE program are doing, as well as other events with the Jonesboro Police Department. We've got a couple more Facebook shout-outs. So Donna Humble says, good morning, and I see Cora Evans Hester. Appreciate you for checking in on our Facebook live feed, and you still have time to leave your questions and comments. Just either post it on our live feed or give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. So we're going to go ahead and touch up once again for those just tuning in, just to kind of bring back Officer Racy and Mr. Cobbs to once again let the listeners know about the upcoming events for the DARE program.
Okay. We'll start with the DARE Days program on August 11th, 2017. At 3 o'clock, from 3 to 7, there will be a free event where you can come out to the skating rink and you can skate for free. We'll have inflatables. Kids can play. We'll have bounce houses, a little basketball. We might get some tournaments going on with me and the Chief and Vic. We may slam on somebody out there.
Now Chief gonna break out a Porsche for y'all.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we need that. Porsche and Kennard, they're our basketball players. But it's at Family Fun Central at 2700 Phillips Drive here in Jonesboro. So make sure you come out and join us for that. And then Vic and I also have another program.
We have the Stop the Violence, Give Up the Guns events coming up. There's going to be in September. There's going to be the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd with various times. And basically that event would be to just get the guns off the street and to make our community feel more secure.
Right on.
All right.
And Chief's looking at me, so Chief, anything you want to add to it?
Well, absolutely. We do have two events coming up soon. This weekend, we're having a back-to-school event at the First Family Fellowship Worship Church on Greensboro Road.
Okay.
So this time of year, the back-to-school programs all across the city are starting to kick off, and we're going to start out this weekend with one at the First Family Fellowship Worship Church on Greensboro. There'll be officers there set up, and just encourage the community to come on out. August 11th, I know that's going to be a real busy day for us because we've already talked about the back-to-school bash at the rink. But that morning at Parker Park on the 11th, we're going to host a back-to-school event. So we'll have officers there, and I think the community will be handing out school supplies and things like that at Parker Park on the 11th.
Is that the 11th or 12th, Chief, on that one?
I think it's the 12th.
I think
It's
it's the 12th.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Well, while Chief is getting up there,
I'm sorry, that is on the 12th on a Saturday. You were correct.
Okay.
So this is on. So
this one's
on Friday the 11th, and Parker Park's on the next day. So that's 2 days of fun and excitement for the kids before we get back to school.
It's
So,
back to back. We have three back to school events
Absolutely.
we just talked about.
So and then the Family Worship Center there at Belton Scott has got an event coming up also.
Wow.
And I don't have that date with me, but it's also the next week or two. So
It's also a back to school event.
yes.
I mean, there's so many more. We've been posting some flyers on our Instagram page, but we welcome, anyone else has an event, let us know. We'll be happy to, announce it for you.
We have another Facebook shout out. Shout out to Brianna Rogers.
Hi, Brianna.
Hello. They were on just yesterday.
Also, can I say real quick, for the people who's listening, like, you do not have to be a partner of an organization or a church or anything to do a community event or just a give back thing. Like, something I'm going to be doing just out of my heart by myself is giving some kids, buying some free haircuts for 20 kids. Oh, wow. So it's something, it don't have to be broadcast, it don't have to be big. You can just give back in any way.
That's right.
I like
for
that.
Vic.
It's very encouraging, especially those college students. We're going back to school too. Some of us are last semester, so make it count.
Right on. Right on. And I didn't thank Vic earlier, but we didn't put that out there, but he's actually donating his time for both of these events. The gun take back was his idea, but the back to school bash at the rink, he's actually donating his time for that event as well. Mm-hmm. So please support him in whatever he does, even if it's not in conjunction with the police department. Absolutely love this dude, man. He's been a blessing to the city of Jonesboro.
He has. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vic, for your service to the community.
And that's what it's all about. It's just about doing what you can to help make this community a better place. Everybody can do something. And of course, we at KLK, we're happy to provide this platform to get the word out about people such as Mr. Cobbs and JPD and everybody else that's trying to make a difference in the community.
That's right. So any final thoughts, shout outs, anyone else you would like to thank?
For the Stop the Violence event, we forgot to mention the MPAC Greek would be providing that would be helping with this event. They would be providing some food and some little control. So big shout out to them.
Okay, that is wonderful. Thank you to everybody.
I'd like to give a shout out to everybody at this table right now coming together to make this happen. The police department, DJ King Vic, Miss Kabila, Kato Wonder, everybody.
Don't forget Amanda.
And Amanda. I'm sorry, Amanda.
Oh, and Headliners Barbershop in the mall at Turtle Creek. They gave me a good deal package to actually do the haircut giveaway. So.
All right, so going out to Headliners. So will you be there that day whenever they're doing the haircut?
It's gonna be more of a you show up when you want to. I'm just gonna give out a business card with like a code on the back, and they just go whenever they're free to get the haircut.
All right, we got a little under 2 minutes left, so let's bring it back to Chief. Any final comments or announcements about Jonesboro Police Department, testing, CPA, anything that we may not have covered?
No, I think we've covered everything. Again, this time of the year, there's a lot of things going on, and it's back to school event starting, and with back to school school starting on the 14th. Just want to encourage the people in Jonesboro to slow down on those work days, those first few days of school. The traffic's going to be terrible in Jonesboro. Everybody trying to get their kids to school. We want everybody to take their time and get these kids to school safely. And just use some caution, slow down, take your time, and leave in plenty of time where you can get ready to go. There's going to be a lot of long lines at these schools the first week of schools. We'll have some extra officers in the areas trying to help work traffic, and but just start getting it in your mind that schools is upon us, and we've got to be real cautious and careful.
Especially in that new roundabout.
A new roundabout, that will be a new challenge to some folks, obviously. But I think for the most part, people have grown accustomed to it pretty quick.
Yeah,
and,
I adjusted to it pretty quick. When I first saw the drawing of it, I said, this looked like just a disaster waiting to happen. But actually driving it, Not that bad at all. We want to thank Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott for stopping by the studio, along with Officer Shay Racy of the DARE program. Mr. Victor Cobbs, appreciate you for stopping by. And we're going to get ready to get up out of here, but may each and one of you have a great and blessed day. You're tuned into Community Conversations. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 1.